I cannot believe it after all this time. Tears of the Kingdom is $70 DLC. The Koroks are back. They're back. It's the same exact thing. I mean, $70 DLC. All right, I'm sorry. I can't go on with that. I do want to talk about this whole Korok seed situation. That kind of sucks. It's whatever. But something I really haven't got to discuss on this channel all that much is the $70 DLC conversation. And it's still going on. Even after what we got today, which is probably yesterday, the time you're watching this video, even after what we got there, we still have people out here saying, this is DLC, this is DLC. I want to go over some of the stuff we saw today. I want to talk about other games, other sequels in general. And I would really like to put this $70 DLC thing to bed because it's honestly, it's ridiculous at this point. What's up, guys? Welcome back, or welcome in for the first time. Do me a huge favor, jump down in the description of this video. You're gonna be able to find a lot of stuff down there. You can find the link to our podcast channel. We do a podcast every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on that channel, or you can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. Links to the Discord are down there, and you can also now become a member of this channel. We have a private Discord room for members. We're gonna be doing private live streams with the members. There's all kinds of other stuff I'm putting in the Discord and on the members community tab. And obviously it does help this channel. So if that is something you are interested in doing, the link is down below to that and everything else. But let's go ahead and get into this. I want to talk about the first thing that did kind of upset me a little bit. We are getting Koroks back, and it looks like that we're getting the seeds the exact same way. I'm a little bummed about that. We saw the one with the backpack, and we got a bunch of information. A lot of this stuff I'm taking from Zeltic's video, Nintendo Life. A bunch of people put up videos today with a little bit of their own gameplay, some extra stuff from Nintendo, so that's probably what you're gonna be seeing here. Some of this video might be from Zeltic's video, Nintendo Life, a few other places, but I'll put the links to all their stuff down in the description. So we saw the one Korok with the backpack. I guess that's its own thing. You have to get that Korok to a certain place. So they do other things now, but you're still collecting Korok seeds. It's not gonna be, I guess, just find them under a rock all the time. Maybe that is how you also get some seeds or whatever. That bums me out a little bit. It does bum me out a little bit. I wish they would have moved past that, done something else. It's not really that big of a deal. The other thing I saw, and this isn't a huge thing, I'm glad they included it, but in the DLC we got this thing called the travel medallion. That looks like it's returning exactly how it was in the DLC, which is nice. It's fine, especially when you're up there on those sky islands and you happen to fall off. It will be nice to have a marker so you can go back up there and try again. I wish they would have done something a little more creative with that. I'm fine with it. I don't care that much. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad we have something like that. That's cool. I thought they probably could have done something a little different with that. Not a big deal, though. Really not a big deal. Now, another thing that people could even say that this is DLC, before we get into the rest of this stuff that actually matters, is people are saying, you know, it's the same map. And now we know basically it's the same controls. Everything's gonna work basically the same. It looks like the controls are actually a lot more intricate this time. From what I've seen online here, it depends on if you're in Ultra Hand mode or Fuse mode. A lot of the buttons do different things. A lot of it is, I guess, kind of confusing, but I mean, you can go back and watch the streams of me replaying Breath of the Wild. I was very confused with those controls when I went back to them too. So I don't really see that as a crazy thing. It doesn't seem like something that's gonna be a huge deal, especially, you have to remember, they probably were playing further into the game. You're gonna get a big tutorial on this stuff. You're gonna be able to figure it out and get the stuff that you need to know out of the way. You're gonna be able to have that. I'm sure they're gonna ease us into it all just fine. And another thing, like I just said, people were saying it's the same Hyrule, it's the same map. I don't think we understand exactly how much more we're gonna be getting in this game. In one of these videos, I don't remember which one, it might have been Zeltic, that said, they start out on a sky island, and it's called the Great Sky Island, kind of like the Great Plateau. And he actually compared that island, just that island in the sky, to be about the size, maybe a little bit smaller than the Great Plateau. The entire Great Plateau on an island. It's a little bit smaller, but way more going on, way more things happening. So you're talking about the entire map we have down there below. Every bit of that map, plus areas in the sky. One of them, only one of them, is the size of the Great Plateau. I mean, we're getting a map on top of a map. That's what we're actually getting. There is so much more in this game, and I'm gonna use this game as kind of a comparison to the argument that this is $70 DLC. I want to talk about Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Now, in that game, I do know that when you play Jedi Survivor, you are basically starting out where you left off as far as your character has developed and what they can do. You know, the force push, pull, you have the little climby, grapply things already. You keep all of that and go into the next game. That sounds kind of like DLC. You have all the stuff, there's just more. Doesn't that sound like DLC? Honestly, it sounds a little bit more like DLC than what we've seen so far in Tears of the Kingdom, but it's not DLC, and nobody's complaining about that. Nobody is complaining about that because it's not the same exact map, but I guarantee you will probably going back to some of the same worlds. And the argument is, oh, well, these are whole planets. No, they're not. They're not whole planets. You get a level on a planet. That is a level. Yes, there's lots of places to go, but it's not a full planet. That's like Star Wars in general. They say, oh, there's all these planets, but if you really watch Star Wars, every planet is really just like a city or two cities. It's all just based in one little part of a planet. We don't really ever see the rest of it. That doesn't matter. That's not what we're talking about. My point is, games build off of the original. Sequels to games build from the original, some more than others. Tears of the Kingdom is clearly building off of what Breath of the Wild did. Obviously, they're using the same general map. They're adding a ton to it. We haven't even gone over any of the stuff that we saw just today. This is just today, not to mention all the stuff that we've seen in other trailers. Now, obviously, the easy one is the new abilities. We already know about that, but we've seen some stuff now. You can really build anything, and that was kind of the question. With the Ultra Hand, what were we gonna be able to build? It looks like we're gonna be able to build everything. And another thing I do want to touch on really quick is there was another form of Ultra Hand on the little wheel where you get your abilities from. It looked like it had multiple hands. So my guess is, they weren't allowed to talk about it, but my guess is this is either some type of presets where you can either make things and save them as presets in there, or it's some kind of tool to help you build faster. Maybe some kind of combination of both of those things. But not only that, not only was there an extra ability that we don't know about yet, there was also a spot for the amiibos, which is, you know, obviously we knew we were gonna be able to do that, but there's an empty slot there too. There's another ability that we don't even know about yet. So there's 2 more abilities at least that we have no idea what they do. So that's what? 6 new abilities that we have? And you could argue that some of these are kind of close to what we used to have with the runes. Well, let's see. I mean, Ultra Hand lets you pick up a lot of stuff. I mean, that's kind of like Magnesis, only evolved. Move forward. You don't have to have just a metal object. You can pick up all kinds of stuff. Basically, if it's not tied to the ground, you can pick it up. So that's like the evolution. Not only that, you can build things with it. You can put things together. I mean, to a certain extent, Recall's kind of like Stasis, only instead of, you know, hitting something and making it go a certain way, it just kind of goes where it came from. It's just a different version of that. Now, Fuse is obviously completely different. That's something different. Ascend is also something different, but it's kind of like Rivali's Gale, sort of. Like a little bit. I mean, you can't just jump freely, but it does help you get up to high places, so I know that's not the same thing, but we're probably not gonna have those champion abilities anymore. We're probably not gonna have them. It doesn't look like we do. Now you say, well, we've lost bombs, but we haven't lost bombs actually, because there are bomb flowers in this game. We did get to see those in today's stuff. That's how you make the bomb arrows. I'm so glad they brought those back. I'm really happy about the bomb flowers. I like those. I like that. I wondered if there was gonna be a bomb shop or something where we could get bombs, because clearly it's a Zelda game. You have to have bombs. But I did wonder about that. I think bomb flowers is a better way to go. It looks like there's some other stuff too. There's other little plants that you can throw around and light things up. So they're really adding a bunch of new stuff into this game. We did hear about them fighting that big blocky guy up on the Sky Islands. I guess it was a pretty good boss fight. Different stages of the boss fight. That's something I like to see. And those are overworld bosses. So maybe we are gonna get tougher overworld bosses. We saw the boss Bokoblin. That looked like it was a pretty cool fight when they were going up into to get that tower. Now we didn't see what the towers do, but I'm guessing those towers are a way to get up into the Sky Islands too. It seems like they cut the footage up where it's We're trying to get in here to this tower, and then all of a sudden we're not gonna show you what happens with the tower, and then we're on the Sky Island. So I'm guessing the towers are to get up there. Maybe not, but I would say that's probably what they're for. Someone did, and I think this was in one of the written things, but someone did actually say the words Sky Dungeon. So they played it and they opened what they said was the door to a Sky Dungeon. That's pretty cool. I guess that means dungeons confirmed. I don't know, but I mean, he said it and he played it. So we got to see what the gumball machines do, which is very cool. They actually spit out fans, batteries, rockets. So the constructs you fight drop little, I can't remember what they're called, but they're little zone eye pieces, and you put those into the gumball machine that spits out a bunch of parts for you so you can make stuff. Building things like this is going to be massive in this game. We're going to be doing a ton of it. And I thought one of the very interesting things that was said in all these videos I watched today, the people at Nintendo that were there with them while they played this game basically put a task in front of them to do. And it seems like every one of them did it in a completely different way, which was a thing we saw with Breath of the Wild a lot. A lot of people, you know, did things different ways. There were a ton of different ways to do just about everything in the game, but it seems like this one, they're going to take that concept and really, really run with it and really open it up even more. We talked about that when we saw the final trailer, how much more open this entire thing is going to be with just ways you can do things, ways you can get to where you need to go, do the things you need to do, adding all these parts and being able to build all this stuff, the weapons you can make, and it looks like you can literally put anything together. If it is in your inventory, you can combine it. That's crazy. There's going to be so many things we can't even think about right now that are gonna be done in this game. It's just really exciting, and I think it's crazy at this point after everything we've seen. I thought it was crazy before, especially now, knowing what we know after today. Calling this game DLC is insane. It's absolutely insane, because if this is DLC, then any other insert name of game here, 2 or 3, is just DLC. I made the point with Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. I mean, the people saying that this game is DLC could argue that that game is DLC, but they're not. They're not. I think people are really just hung up on the fact that the art style is the same, the map is generally the same, even though now we can see it's probably not the same at all. People are really hung up on that stuff, and you know, people just need things to talk about on Twitter anyway. But guys, that is gonna do it for this one. I wanna know what you think about what we saw today. I didn't cover all of it. There's a ton of other things that everyone said today. I'm gonna try to link as many of those videos down below. If you haven't watched all of them, I recommend watching every single one of them, because man, there's a lot to be excited about with this game. But like I said, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed. See you in the next one.